Redding, California, operates as a typical northern resource town, a historically conservative community of about 90,000 residents situated along the Sacramento River. But look past the standard local industry, and you'll find a massive demographic outlier. Over 10% of the city's population belongs to Bethel Church, a hyper-charismatic megachurch that imports thousands of students and millions in capital every year. This growth is guided by a specific theology called the Seven Mountain Mandate. It instructs believers to exert control over the 7 primary spheres of society: government, media, family, business, education, religion, and the arts. In this framework, holding a city council seat functions as a tactical maneuver to bring secular systems under spiritual authority. Redding serves as the primary testing ground for this level of civic integration, where theological objectives begin to guide municipal administration. Bethel's integration with the local government began with direct financial support. In 2017, the church provided $500,000 to the city of Redding to fund municipal police salaries during a severe budget shortfall. This financial presence expanded into disaster relief following major wildfires and the effective privatization of city assets. A Bethel-led nonprofit took over the Redding Civic Auditorium, converting the public venue into a dedicated campus for their supernatural ministry school. This financial dependency eventually translated into direct political control. By late 2022, Bethel-affiliated members secured a 3-2 majority on the 5-person Redding City Council. In 2024, a local resident filed a lawsuit, alleging this majority used illegal backdoor meetings to appoint their own members as mayor and vice mayor. A state campaign filing revealed the appointee already claimed the title of mayor months before the public vote occurred. This voting bloc also used its authority to block a local Native American tribe from relocating a casino. A state court later ruled that the council violated environmental and surplus land laws in a calculated move to stop a development that conflicted with the church's morals. By subsidizing essential services and controlling the council, Bethel effectively purchased the legislative leverage needed to bypass standard municipal neutrality. Bethel teaches that believers can perform physical miracles, including faith healing and resurrecting the dead. As the church's civic influence grew, these practices remained insulated from standard legal oversight. The physical risks of this theology were exposed in 2008 when a man fell 200 feet down a cliff. Instead of calling 911, a group including a Bethel student spent 6 hours attempting to raise him back to life through prayer. The man survived but was left paralyzed. This environment of intense community trust also makes congregants targets for financial exploitation. When spiritual authority is conflated with expertise, standard financial due diligence often disappears. Between 2015 and 2020, a congregant named Matthew Piercy ran a $35 million Ponzi scheme targeting church members. He utilized the church's high-trust network to funnel millions into a fraudulent investment algorithm before the FBI intervened. When a community allows supernatural doctrine to override civic and financial protocols, basic public safety and economic security are often the first things to fail. A foundational Bethel doctrine called the culture of honor prioritizes the protection of spiritually gifted leaders. In practice, this creates a system where internal restoration is favored over public or legal accountability. This resulted in the systemic cover-up of misconduct, such as the case of leader Ben Armstrong. After an intern reported he had groomed and sexually assaulted her, church leadership framed the abuse as a consensual affair and allowed him to remain in ministry. A similar vacuum protected Sean Bowles, a prominent prophetic minister. Leaders were forced to admit they held evidence of his sexual harassment and fraudulent data mining for 7 years without issuing a public warning to potential victims. This lack of accountability now intersects with the county's child welfare system. Through the Foster Shasta program, the church embeds its members into the local foster home network. Historical cases in the county show foster children with genetic medical conditions being subjected to aggressive exorcisms by church elders. These children were told their muscle contortions were the result of demonic possession. Bethel's parallel justice system shields its leaders from consequence while actively placing the state's most vulnerable youth into an unregulated religious environment. Today, Redding is a municipality structurally, legally, and financially bound to the church's private infrastructure. The lawsuits, financial scandals, and cover-ups documented here are the logical outgrowths of applying the Seven Mountain Mandate to local governance. The story of Bethel Church demonstrates the consequences of merging a powerful religious institution with secular government. When these boundaries dissolve, the safety nets of the state vanish, leaving the public and its most vulnerable citizens entirely unprotected.